Mecca it is today. Yeah, I
Yeah,
know you guys got a lot of stuff going on up there, and I've been following your page for a while, and it's just so
yeah.
we're gonna get started here, Brandon. I'm really excited to have you on here. This is
Let's
the
do it, man.
complete athlete. Yeah, I know. This is the complete athlete podcast where we get you to your next level in your sport and in life. That sport being baseball, especially today. I'm talking to my old teammate Brandon Radmacher. We played up at the University of Jamestown, Jimmy Pride, Jimmy Baseball. Love playing with you there. I know you played at a few other schools before we came across paths in the fall of 2016. But this is about you, man. We're going to get to know you a little bit today. Super pumped to hear about your baseball story, how your passion spurred for the sport, and then talk a little bit about what you're doing up there at the RBI training facility in Saskatchewan. I'm pumped.
Yeah, no, I'm happy to be here, man. It's been a minute, but our conversations are always great and always in depth and everything we talk about. So it's just nice to catch up and get all of our talk about the old stories and all our experiences in the last how many years are making me feel kind of old now, knowing it's been
I
that
know we're
long.
old,
Jeez.
man. I mean, how old are you now? I mean, I know
Oh,
you're like a little younger than me,
yeah.
but
Well, I'm 20. I'm 28, but feel my body's like a 35 plus. But I mean, I'm I'm doing well. I mean, I still do my arm care every now and then and get my arms
every
going.
now
And
and then, yeah, you're like me, and then I'll randomly show up in a session like, all right, I'm just gonna do a pull down right now. Okay, that was a dumb decision.
hey, I honestly like the guys who do in our facility just to get them all fired up. I'm all about the energy levels and get energy going.
Yep.
And when we do our velo days, I won't even warm up half the time, and it kind of makes me mad. I know kids are not even like hitting their personal, not even close. Sometimes I'm like, you know what? If I can hit even close to 90 miles an hour right now, you guys are
Yeah.
not. You guys need to figure something out mentally here. Like I'm gonna pick
Figure
up
it
this ball,
out.
throw up
Yeah.
90 miles an hour. Don't feel my elbow. Don't show it though. But it was still like I haven't thrown a baseball in months. Maybe
Yeah.
just BP, but still throw 90. And I was like, you guys, there's no reason why you can't hit 85. So let's do it.
Let's do it. Yeah, you got to show them that once in a while. I got to pitch against our fall team at the end of the year during a practice this year, and I was probably throwing mid 80s actually, which is surprising. But you bet I felt it the next day or the following day because I don't play any amateur ball during the summers because I'm too busy building this. But yeah, man, it's exciting to have you on. First, I want to get to know you a little bit or our viewers want to get to know you a little bit. Tell
Yeah.
us about your baseball journey, how you grew up, like right when you were first starting to play. I don't know the types of leagues that they have up there in Canada, and I'm sure our viewers here
Yeah.
in the States probably don't either. So tell us a little bit about your journey.
Yeah. Geez. Well, it all started, I was a young little guy. I didn't start baseball until I was like full time baseball until I was 14. I'll be honest. And I was a big hockey guy forever. I don't know you guys in Minnesota are big hockey.
Huge.
And like we're Saskatchewan's a mega for, like a lot of NHL players come from this area. And, I'm not saying, there's a lot of friends of mine that I have known playing NHL, but my family was a hockey family growing up. And my dad played college hockey. He played for Botno. They won a national championship there. We played, my uncle played hockey. Everybody played hockey. And that kind of was what I was supposed to be doing. I was supposed to be playing hockey. And one summer, I decided to take summer hockey off and try baseball. And that was kind of like why I fell in love with it, just the pace of it and like the camaraderie and just just being outside in the summer. I guess I was sick of being in a rink all winter, and it's like, why would I want to be in a cold area when it's plus? It's so nice. I was gonna say plus 30 in Celsius, but it's kind of confusing for you. But like, let's say it's hot. And I
Yeah,
was like,
yeah.
what am I doing here? Like, I'm doing something. Like, I want to try some new experiences. And yeah, I kind of just ran with the idea. Played some pilot, or I guess there was Belgoni Broncos baseball. That was our area, blue logo and blue hat, and it was the local team in town, and played and loved it. And I was like I know I was left-handed, and I was like, oh, well, cool. I had a massive glove. It was like a suitcase, I used to call it, because the thing was a size like 15. And I didn't know the difference. Like this thing, I could pick it up, whatever. I just pass the
Yeah.
ball. I'll catch it, throw it, do whatever you want to do. I'll do it. I'm the guy. And learned and
Yeah.
didn't start getting into training until that next winter. I did slow like once a week, and I had a couple guys that we didn't really have a training program at that time around here. Like we really didn't. And I remember one year I played competitive in high school for one summer and went to a tournament and got approached by two high school academies. I'd like move away to a different province, like 8 hours away, which is another state, just a whole different area just to like pursue baseball. Because at that time, we didn't have much in Saskatchewan. And for you to want to play college baseball, you kind of got to move away, to get exposure and get people the knowledge to get you where you want to be. So I moved away in grade 11, and which is, I guess, grade 11's, when I was senior. I don't know. It's
It's
almost
11th.
graduating high
It's
school.
11th grade here. Yeah, no, we got
Perfect.
12
Yeah.
grades here. I don't know if you guys have 13 or 14 there, but
We have 12 grades and 11 toes up here, but it's it's one of those things. It's just like I got an opportunity and I had to make a decision. I was either going to play competitive SJH hockey, which is junior hockey in Canada here or just going to play baseball. And I kind of chose the baseball route, and people are like, "What?" Like, okay,
what are you doing? We're in Canada. We play hockey up here. That's the same thing with baseball here in Minnesota, dude. Like it's hockey.
They're like, you must be left-handed or something, man. What the hell are you doing?
And you are left-handed. Yep.
And and I made that decision, and I'll never go back on it. And moved away, and I played one of the top high school programs now to date in Canada. And
what's the name of that?
Vauxhall Baseball Academy. It's in Vauxhall, Alberta.
Yes.
It's literally a small town. Like my graduation class was like 20 people.
Oh wow, crazy.
Yeah, it was ridiculously like small, and it was literally just like a town of people. And the baseball field was the place. That's what people used to go to and watch. And we had like a hockey girls program and a baseball program, and local people would go. And it was a super small community, small high school. And pretty much the academy was, I hate to say it, kind of the high school at the time.
Pretty much. Sounds like it.
I was there for 2 years, and it kind of got me to where, like I got stronger. I got there, hit the weight room. I didn't realize how big the weight room was at that time. And I went from my velocity that one summer, my grade 11 year, I'll never forget. I was like 82 miles an hour. I jumped up. I was hitting 88 to 90 my senior year, just in the weight room and just working on mobilities and just different way your body moves. Which I mean, if I was in Saskatchewan, I was just like, oh, pick up the ball, throw hard as you can, throw a strike. It's a simple, and it still is simple, but got bigger and ended up getting a chance to play at the World, under 18. Tried out went up to Italy and played with it was a kind of pre-Worlds, and I was one of the last cuts for Team Canada there. So I had a little stint with Team Canada under 18 and played with guys that are, knocking the doorstep or have played or even close to getting drafted. So like, it's kind of cool to see those guys and playing the big leagues now. I was like, oh, that guy was my first baseman in high school. This guy was a starter, And then I signed in Illinois, played junior college in Illinois. I was didn't apply myself in high school too much, so I couldn't sign Division I out of high school. I was supposed to go to Washington State University out of high school, just couldn't get up my grades, so I went junior college route. And probably the best decision ever. I mean, going to junior college, I ended up, Illinois wasn't my place, just the program. And I went to California, loved it in California, and then I had to transfer out and played for University of North Dakota, Fighting Sioux, for 1 year. And then they changed it to the Fighting Hawks that year, and all of a sudden they cut that.
Well, they ended up cutting the baseball program, and that's how we met.
That's how we met. It's just like I did the full milk route, man. Like I got experience in JUCO, NAIA, Division I. Like it's just like you just pull it out of a hat. It's like here you go. It's like playing chess piece, It's just like. But I think that really molds me as a coach today, because I can with our recruiting process, I can say, hey, I've experienced this. This is how this is going to look, or you're a good fit in this program in this area, because of the amount of areas I was able to experience.
Yeah.
So
I actually was thinking about that. I'm like, Brandon has literally played every single level of college ball. Because didn't you play? I mean, you played JUCO ball, and then you played Division I with North Dakota. That was your third stop. You played NAIA with me at Jamestown. And what was the California school in between there? Was that a Division II NCAA? Or was that another JUCO?
That was another JUCO. So we almost made it to the super regional that year. We had a really good team. Yeah, like our shortstop was Miles Mastrobuoni, who was playing at the Cubs now. He's got traded with the Rays. And he was our shortstop of that year. And then he went to University of Nevada. And we we almost made it all the way, and we were the top JUCO in that year in California.
Wow.
So we had a
That's
hell of a
crazy,
team.
man. Tons of fun experiences and like a
Yeah,
lot of experiences that have molded you and that you can give advice to all the guys that you guys train up there at RBI. That's awesome.
yeah, yeah. I mean, it's kind of making me feel not going down memory lane because I don't really get to think about these things too often. It's always like I'm all present. It's nice to kind of talk about them, and I
Yeah.
don't even realize all the stops I've been until you actually write it down on a piece of paper. Like this guy's just a freaking what's his milk?
He's a journeyman. He's a
What is this?
journeyman.
He's a jack of all trades.
That's awesome. I remember you showing up that fall at Jamestown 2016. This hard throwing lefty. All of us guys are like, holy crap, this guy just came from North Dakota. They dropped their baseball program. Now he's here. Like, whose spot is he going to take, you know? So, but we were all working our butts off. I mean, I came from the JUCO realm right before that too. And, we were all trying to fight for a spot. Like that's literally what it was, you know?
Yeah, that
So,
was cool. I mean, I remember walking in that campus and Coach Hager gave me that opportunity and I remember getting a call and I was like, still dealing with the devastating like with UND, like how they just cut us just like that and just like here, I
yeah.
remember we went into our room in the conference room and got told the news from our director at the time and said, yeah, we're not gonna keep the program and kind of like honestly, our team was so good for UND that one year that we beat 12th ranked USC that year. And we beat like almost we beat University of Alabama that year. It was pretty devastating, but I was glad that Coach Hager gave me the opportunity just to kind of, hey, do you want to go? I'll keep going. I could have went to Kansas or somewhere else, but I was like, you know what? Like, there's something about it. I know the camaraderie, the small town feel of Jamestown just felt like, that's a home that I want to play in, And I would have been able to meet you,
Absolutely.
man, and not blow up your thumb for a year and a half. That's
Literally blew up you and Eric Evans. Oh man, just coming at. I would always play catch with either Stairs, or Evans or you, and my thumb's just like goodness gracious. Like,
yeah.
you got the tail on your ball as a lefty, and then Evans' ball a little bit more straighter but high spin rate, and I'm like catching in the palm. It's like goodness. But
Yeah,
it
us
was a fun
Canadians
time.
throw ball hard, man. Us Canadians throw ball
Yeah,
hard.
seriously. What the heck? What are you guys doing up there? Just throwing snowballs every single day or what?
Yeah, it's more like ice chunks, but that's whatever.
Whatever it is, no, you had a really good experience in college. And from that standpoint, as a trainer, like what have you brought that into as a trainer and a coach up there at RBI? First, tell us a little bit about the facility. Obviously, you kind of told me a little bit about it before, but how it's kind of going, how long it's been around, and like what you currently do up there.
Yeah, so I'm the head pitching instructor here at RBI. We have a massive facility. We have two facilities in town. We got softball main base, and we have a baseball facility. We have two different facilities. We have wide ranges of coaches from all different levels. From our softball coaches, we have from Oklahoma State that have come up here and play with our go to school. Or we got lots of people from different levels of coach, pro, college to everything. We do RBI's been around. I don't know. It's almost going on 10 years now, and we have such a like lots of people coming. We have a lot of fall ball travel ball programs that come through here. We run travel. We have a travel league. Actually have our own central baseball league. It's like pretty much it's the province of Alberta and Manitoba that we all have different academies or different facilities that have a league in the fall and put our best teams together to compete to kind of showcase our players to get to that next level. We have our websites, leaderboards, everything. So yeah, I mean, our facility is great for the space we have. I mean, we make do what we do. Like you know, kind of the philosophy when I coach with our players, it's kind of like if you want to be a college player or if you want to be a high end player, I'm going to treat you like a high end player. I'm not going to say, hey, this is give you on a silver platter. I'm going to make you work for it, and I'm going to keep you accountable. I think accountability is huge, especially with coaching and teaching those skills to keep yourself accountable. Because I feel like that's going to lack, especially their younger groups these days. Just to kind of like understand that, hey, things come with a process. You can't just be given it to you by doing it twice. You got to put maybe 20 times. Understanding what your body's doing. I think that's kind of the big thing I've done with our pitching classes and giving especially the older group, especially if they want to play college level and our kids, they want that dream. you know, I'm going to treat you like a college player at grade 12. So you're that much more mentally ready for it when you get there. It's no surprise. You know, that's me having to tell you how it is or tell you how crappy that last pitch was. I'm going to tell you that thing, and I'm going to be, I know, pretty black and white with some things. I'm not pretty black and white a lot of things, but I'm not going to lie to you. You know, I'm not going to tell you what you want to hear. I'm going to tell you what you need to hear so you can get better. And I think that's the kind of the big philosophy I bring into the program, and just kind of having that fun environment. You know, I'm full of energy and can talk for days, and I just love this. I just love the game, man. The game's made me so much. So it's nice to get back to the game that's, you know, made my life that much happier, and all the people I can meet with it. So.
No, Brandon, from every conversation we've had, whether it's baseball related or family life or whatever, baseball runs in your veins, and you just giving that passion back to the youth that you're working with up there, and kind of that homegrown small town feel type thing, teaching kids how to get to their next level. You're the perfect guy for it, just so you know.
Mm-hmm.
I want to let you know.
Appreciate it, man. No, appreciate
Absolutely.
it, man. It keeps you, you know, coaching is like, I realize it does, and it keeps you in the game. It makes you look at like a different perspective on the game, you know, especially, you know, us old, you know, we're kind of getting old dogs, and it's kind of like, you know, it's kind of one of those things. It's just like, wow, now I get to, you know, in college, you used to try and pick signs of other teams. You know, that was our thing as a pitcher, especially in California. Now it's like, you know what? I'm going to small town ball thing you, and, you know, I'm going to try and figure out your stuff. I'm going to outthink you. You know, I always like to outthink people, and, you know, I'm definitely a thinker, especially with the mental side of baseball. I'm a huge mental guy and love that stuff. And it's like, it's kind of nice to bring that into a coaching aspect now. So.
Absolutely. Speaking of the mental side, and I know I didn't kind of give this in the document I sent over beforehand, but like, what do you do with your players working on the mental side of thing with your pitchers?
We do a lot of short-term, long-term goal setting. Kind of a goal. I keep a lot of the kids' goals in a, you know, just kind of, you know, within the full year. Some of it that's kids I can remember through the years past. A lot of like in facility lesson training goals. So, hey, you know, we do a lot of our velocity programs. We don't do it every time, but it's more so goals that are temporary done through our lessons. So they know that they gave that 100% through that lessons to achieve their big goal, but also getting towards, you know, the small things of their short term. You know, we've done a lot of mental stuff with our teams, just understanding the diversity side. I think that comes with the being uncomfortable in our training lessons and our facilities and practices and stuff, like putting kids in like those situations that it's easier to work on and practice, but once it comes to a game, it's going to be like, hey, I've done this before. And that's cool. Like pitch selection, understanding, you know what, maybe you have to throw a first pitch curveball, you know, get me over curveball, or hey, I'm going to have to throw a change up 3 times in a row, because if I throw a fastball, this guy, you know, see ya. Like, it's, you know, just understanding, you know, there's a purpose to everything you do, and purpose to every pitch you throw, and how those will set up each other, and how it make you that much further ahead when it comes to next batter, next inning, next game, or even just down the season, down the run, right? Tendencies. I think that's really big with our program, especially with the mental game. I think it's just kind of making those kids, you know, feel uncomfortable, but in a more supportive environment.
Absolutely. And I know you guys create a good supportive environment based on all the content I've seen on your guys' social media and whatnot. Yeah. And get them all riled up when you need to on certain days when they need that energy, that Rod energy. Goodness, yeah, I have to pipe in about our stories about on our bus trips and in the gym, just getting a sandstorm going, and Rod's getting the whole team going, man. Like that was fun. That was some fun times.
Hey, you know, like that song is still, you know, yeah, I retired it in Jamestown, but when it gets played here, man, like if I need an uplift, or if I'm having a bad day at my work, my day job, and I just need an uplift, it's either I'm playing Sandstorm or I'm playing Blue. You know that song, I'm Blue. I don't know. It's like those two songs. It just gets a guy going, you know.
Yeah.
And it's just like, I played in the facility here, and I try to tell the story, and all the young kids are like, "What the heck is it?" You know, like, what kind of song is this? This ain't this guy. I'm like, well, this is a classic. You're gonna have to get to know this, or you're not, Coach Ross be upset. You know, it's not appreciated as much, but I mean, I definitely been big into it. And I think more of my coaching, you know, yeah, that was my playing song, but I think more of my coaching song is Motley Crue now, you know, Kickstart My Heart.
Okay. Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
it's like yeah, that's my coaching song. If I gotta get fired up for a game or I need to get the kids going and get my arm fired up without even warming up, that's the song. Like
That's
that's the song.
amazing. It's amazing what music can do for you. Like I think it was our first fall season with our club teams. We in 2021, we were making a championship run for our fall club championships here in Minnesota, and literally we were playing "Welcome to the Jungle" before games. Like people were just getting after it, and that was fun. We didn't do that much this fall or winter, so we're gonna have to get back to that. But Sandstorm, man, I do that on velo days and all that stuff just to get the kids amped. It's great. I love it.
Hey, tag Coach Rod, and I'll bet you I'll send you a video right back, me throwing as hard as I can to a
Hey, we,
net.
we should we should get a little trend going where like we'll have like a night like that, and we'll send you a video, and then you got to send us one back or something. We'll have to put something like that together. That'd be fun.
Oh, Velo nights, yeah, we'll have to plan that out. That'd be sweet.
That'd be sweet. Yeah.
Team
What do you
Canada
get?
versus Team USA.
Team. I mean, we're not even Team Minnesota. We're like Team Northern Suburb Minnesota. So I don't. I don't even know what we. I mean, Team CA. Yeah, we'll just go with that. But I mean, we got CA up here, and that's like Canada basically, or California.
Hey,
People. We were going to some tournaments. They're like, "Are you guys from California?" We're like, "No, we're from we're from Minnesota." But
yeah,
no,
we're
good
from
stuff.
Canada,
Yeah,
eh?
exactly. I knew that was gonna come. See, the funny thing is, like, I was just on a podcast right before this with one of our newest trainers, who's from Nebraska, and he's talking about how we have accents here, and I'm like, you don't even want to talk about my buddy that I'm interviewing after this. He's got even more of an accent. He's from Canada.
Oh, he sounds like he's like slurring words or something.
No, exactly,
I guess,
exactly. But you do it good. That's just all about your persona, anyways. So just
yeah,
small
we
town
all have
guy.
accents.
We
No,
all do. You
it's
got them. I got them. Everybody's got them.
I used to my accent in Canada, like, oh, it's back now. I mean, I'm back here for how many years now? But when I moved to the States, like when I
It
was down
started
in
going
Southern
away. Yeah.
Illinois, when I was down in Southern Illinois and I came down, I was a fresh Canadian,
Fresh.
just figuring his life, just like, hey, I'm just happy to be here kind of mentality. And walk in, there's guys from Kentucky, and I mean, all my good friends, I'm still friends with them today, and they're just like, wow, you're really Canadian. I'm like, thanks.
Thanks, eh? You put them with the A
It
at
was
the end.
awesome. And like the first,
Man.
it's just like,
So
it's like, you guys really say that up there.
yeah, you really
But
say that. Yeah, exactly. And some of those guys who come and play like collegiate league or something up there, like or in the Canadian league, I bet they're just like, "What is going on?" I don't know. I've never even been up
oh,
there. That's something we need to plan. I need to come up there sometime.
yeah, honestly, I recommend coming the summer months. I mean, winter is just a freaking vortex up here.
Oh
It's
yeah.
just like
Well, we've
I
gotten
feel like,
some of that polar vortex, but you guys get it like all the time.
oh man, it was disgusting here during Christmas. Like it was so cold. You walk out, you're just like, yeah, no, turn back. My dog wouldn't even go outside. I'm just literally like pushing my
Just
dog to
stay
go outside.
inside.
Go, go. I have two golden retrievers at home, and they're just like, yeah, no, we're good.
We're
And
good. We're not even gonna go. We're not even gonna go to the bathroom. We're just gonna chill inside today.
yeah, but like a lot of guys, like I played in the college league here, for right out of high school. We had a lot of guys that came from all across the country, like Canada, US, and we have a lot of guys, like there's still guys that meet girls up here and they still live, they all of a sudden they move up here and it's just like, oh, I guess you never left, hey? The Red Sox really treated you well. This is like nice. Like, but like,
That's
I guess we
funny.
got another coach, and yeah, we're just like guys come up here and our league's getting really big up here. Like it's changed since I played, and the stands, and you go to Alberta and stuff. There, they got it's kind of like the Northwoods League there. I mean, it kind of the when I played the Northwoods League
So you're
that
saying it's
one
getting
summer.
better?
Oh yeah, for sure it is. Yeah, and there's more teams, bigger stadiums. Like especially in Alberta side, like Saskatchewan's getting there. They still have the older feel of the stadiums, like older traditional, like, hey, this is when they had the independent leagues here. So we used to have independent ball in Saskatchewan, and that kind of dwindled away. But in Alberta, they got stands, 10,000 people, 5,000 people. Like a lot of people like their baseball in the summer, and it's starting to get big. And a lot of people are coming up from big schools, especially freshman, sophomore year players that want to come play and experience the Canadian lifestyle and have a summer away from home, and that's where to go. So a lot of our players come back home and play in this league, especially our college guys, and kind of keeps them
Sweet.
fresh and ready to go.
I actually, Evan Shaw, the lefty who I had mentioned to you the last year or two, he's going to be going to Kansas this next fall, but I think he got invited to that league.
Yeah, well,
I
it's
don't
I
know
mean,
which team. I'll have to talk to you about that later, but I'll figure
yeah,
that out.
yeah, like there's a lot of different teams that have such like history to them, and there's a lot of teams that are just like new, and they just have like the new, like they call it, in Alberta they call it the oil money, and everything's just like a lot of people are just investing money into baseball now, which is super cool because Saskatoon, which is a facility just 2 hours away, they got a massive Gordie Howe complex. It's like big turf. They do soccer, football, indoor hitting. Like it's really that awesome place. And starting to come this way. Regina's getting big too, and we got Martin Academy, we got RBI, we got all these different places that are just baseballs. People are kind of quitting the hockey scene. It's like, you know what, I want to try this baseball thing out. And it's kind of like, you know what, come on, little guy, I'll take you and show you the range, and it's just like,
I'm sure you're that guy, Brandon. You know, a new kid, just like a greenhorn coming in there, little 8-year-old, 10-year-old, whatever it is. You're just taking them by their side. Hey, you want to play at that next level? You want to become good, man? I love it.
if you ain't first, you're last. That's what I tell them right there.
Life advice from Brandon Radmacher. Hey, dude, I noticed behind you the wall there. Show us the
Yeah.
wall. What do you got going
Oh
on
yeah.
there?
Yeah, so it's our slogan. It's kind of like we always tell kids, rise above the rest. Like a lot of people, doubt you or think that you're not good enough. It's kind of like one of those things, rise above those challenges, rise above you, rise above other things that you can conquer. So that's kind of our RBI, this kind of kind of what we live by and kind of what we tell our people. And it's kind of the culture we built in this facility, and all of our teams to kind of, rise above the rest and, be that person you want to be. So it's kind of, yeah, so we just started doing that a couple of years ago for all the COVID stuff, and it's kind of nice because it really, really defines that culture here at the facility, and kids and everybody's, it's one big. You walk in here, I could be gone for a week, and it's just like I haven't left a conversation with these kids. It's just like, hey, Coach Rod, how's it going? Hey, Coach Rod, you still crappy? Coach Rod, you like, how's your arm? Coach Rod, I bet you I can throw harder. It's like nice. I can just like get back here, man. I'll give you like it's like it's really cool to come back and see and keep, and kids just want to work hard. Like the other day we did bike sprints after our bullpens, and the kids are like, I don't want to do bike sprints. Like no, you're doing bike sprints, buddy. You're doing 30 seconds hard, and you
Buddy.
go. And I was like, I don't care. Like you're doing bike sprints. This is what you're doing. You're gonna get your legs. I'm told like mass equals gas. Like let's get her going.
Mass equals gas. I love it, man. Dude,
And they're
I love the mantra. It's really good. That's why you guys have such a good culture up there. And we're doing the exact
yeah.
same thing down here. Like that type of atmosphere where kids come up and talk to you. Like that's great. That's I love that.
Yeah, and it's kind of cool to see like our recruiting class. No, the Canadian can't speak English right now. He, we got, we right now have 3 signed to college right now. So I don't know in this air. We might have, by the time this video gets aired, might have 6, and that's probably one of the biggest. Going like Canadian college and U.S. colleges on scholarship, and it's kind of cool to see like kids I've worked with for 3-4 years now. It's just like, holy, I'm pushing out the door to go play college, and here you go, kid, you got it now. Like it's kind of
You
cool
got
to.
it.
It's like seriously, man. It's just like you feel like a parent. I don't have kids or anything, but it's just like they're all, like little brothers, and so it's like, hey, guy, it's your turn. I'm gonna live through you now. Go throw that ball hard, and it's just like have fun.
Don't
Guys have
forget
fun.
about me.
Yeah, it's cool though, because it's sends that pride, and the kids are just like, what, I worked so hard here, and I've worked with hitting, pitching, everything. Like we have such good instructors, and everybody's all on the same page, and we're all here for the same reasons, for the kids. We're not here to look at me, I'm a coach. Like it's about, hey, look at you working hard of the stuff we try to help you with. Some things might not work for you, but maybe someone else says something it clicks. I don't
Yep.
expect every kid that I say something, hey, you try this, your change up curveball, or hey, your stance is this or this. It might not click right away, but someone might say differently, or to give you a little suggestion because of their experiences they offer. And it's just like, oh, that makes sense, like, and that's cool how all of our coaches have all the different experience levels, like Division 2, Division 1, played in Australia. We got all these people that have so many different knowledge that can help our kids, and it's pretty phenomenal.
That's awesome. Yeah, a different perspective helps different things click for each and every single kid. It might not click with one coach, but it may with another coach, and that's completely fine because that's the culture you've created, and it's a culture of getting to the next level and becoming your best self. So it's going to click at some point for these kids that are learning from you and another pitching instructor or another hitting instructor or whoever it may be. So that's awesome that you guys have that type of culture up there. And you guys are 10 years down the road. We're 2.5 years down the road here at CA. So I can only imagine like where we're going to be at, seeing types of facilities like you guys have already put together in teams and all that stuff. So you guys are, you guys are doing a good job. Hopefully we can at some point be at the same tournament or form a tournament together. At some point, that's a goal of mine. I know we talked about it a long time ago, and we just haven't been able to match up the age groups yet. So we'll figure it out at some point here.
No, I envision us playing each other one day. That's like the Mighty Ducks scene when they all go on the ice and they're playing varsity. It's like just imagine like RBI, and it's like that's like going skating around in circles, but we're all like stable blood. We're all like love each other, but like it's like that intense atmosphere, and it's just like coach to coach, you shake your hands.
Yeah, coach to coach, we're like having a stare off with each other, like with our hands in our pockets. Like that'd be amazing.
I'm gonna hate your guts for the next 2 hours, but wanna go for dinner after?
Yeah, let's go out for dinner after. Yeah, exactly. No, I love it, man. I think our boys and our team would get a lot out of that, and I'm sure with you guys as well. Just playing an international opponent, because I mean, how far is Saskatchewan from Minneapolis?
Oh man, it's a hike, skip, and a jump. It's like, oh man, it's 30. Like I think it's like 12, 13, 14 hours. I mean, Fargo is like from Winnipeg.
Eight,
yeah.
9?
I mean, I think it makes sense. We just meet you in Fargo and like, you know what? Find the.
Well, we'll talk to Hager. Hager can talk to his West Fargo people he knows, and we'll get that field we played on against Bellevue. Remember?
Oh man, turf field.
We'll get that turf high school field. Let's do it.
That's big time for us. That's big time for us. We don't. What's turf? We got freaking full shell, baby.
West Fargo. I forget the name of the school. We can ask Oots or Walden. Holy crap! To here? Oh, look up Regina. How far is it?
Whoa, Saskatchewan? Why did you say that?
So... I don't know. Wait, did I say that or did Taylor say that? I don't. Oh, Saskatchewan?
Taylor, you broke it into 3 different words there.
I think that was me. That's funny. Regina, Regina. See, he's doing the fact checking on the back end here. He's looking up exactly the distance you are from us.
I mean, if Gabe's driving, it takes you 16, but if I'm driving, it's 12.
Goodness, do you really think I'm that slow of a driver? Goodness. It's 12 hours. 12 hours. Get those boys on a bus and send them down
Not
here.
Fast.
Or we'll come. I am not fast. My wife is the fast driver, and she tells me that all the time. She's like, I'm driving. If we're in a rush somewhere, she's like, I'm driving. Whatever. Let's get back to you, Brandon. Tell us, do you have some people that you that really impacted you over the years or helped you get to where you're at that you would like to talk about a little bit?
Ooh. I mean, there's a lot of
so many of them. I know.
There's always someone I've been to so many places, and if you think of like somebody that's always been through all these places, I think it's honestly my parents. Like it really was, they were so understanding and so supportive regardless of, it's like, what do you want to do, Brandon? I don't want to make this decision for you. You have to make it for yourself, but what you decide to do, it's what you're going to decide to do. If you don't like it, that was your choice that you made, but we support you. But if it's something way left field, they're going to say it. They're going to be there for me. But, I think with my parents, my mom and dad, I don't think I would have made that, I know my mom was an emotional wreck when I left in high school. she was the one who was like, I'm going to pack everything up. I'm buying a house in this town and I'm going to stay there and be with my boy. And I'm just like, my dad had to kind of pull her
Wow.
back. I bought dad, just stay here. You're being, a little bit too out there, and it's kind of like, you just kind of like, they've always been there and supported my dreams. And even through I've been through some diversity in my career and I like didn't do as well as I wanted to at points in my career. And they were still there and I didn't, they still supported me through it. They got me, if you need something, we're going to be there for you. I think they really jump started me as a person and shaped me to, want to do the same for other people because they've done that so much for me and my sisters. And they really wanted the best for me. So I think that's one of the really people I look up to. If you really think about it, it's just they've regardless on done my coaching, playing, and they're still asking what I'm doing for coaching. And it's just like, hey, come watch, or where can we listen? Or hey, what did you guys do today at practice? Just little things that there's always in my corner, always supporting me. I think that's putting the nail on the head right there, just to kind of sum up that question, because I think there's so many, but the big factor, I think it's my parents for sure.
Absolutely. They're there for you left and right, whatever you choose to do, supporting you. Yeah, I only met your dad, I think, that one time, maybe in Jamestown or on a trip. I forget exactly, but yeah, no, you need those pillars those people who support you through every single thing you go through. It sounds like your parents were that for you, so super happy about that, man. And they help mold you. You are the person who you are, from your dad and your mom. So that's
Yeah.
exactly why you are the way you are.
Yeah. I mean, they didn't like my parents, I've got such, little bits of personality in both my parents. And, I think it has really shaped me. And, with my job, I work with troubled youth in my day job. I work with troubled youth across Canada that suffer from behavioral and drug addictions. And that's kind of like maybe I'm always giving and always there for people. And I love working with kids. And, I think that job is as much as stressful and mentally exhausting it could be, like just consistent all the time, shift work, just relentless, and being coming work with kids in baseball right when I can. It's just like, what? Like it kind of makes you those thoughts my parents say, hey, this is think about the little things. Go back to what you need, believe in, go things that kind of make me who I am as a person, caring, loving, giver. I'm a giver. And
You
that's
are a
the
giver,
big
man.
things.
That's for sure.
And that's the big thing, right? So just kind of going back to the little things, man. Little things, little things.
Given to the youth all across Canada. I was about to say America, but you're in Canada, so.
America, yeah. I mean, I can. If anybody needs some love, I can send you an email.
Send an email,
I
text,
can send you.
whatever you need.
I'll send you a heart emoji text and say, "This is just for the love. I don't actually love you, but just sending love."
Just sending love your way. Here's a virtual hug. Move it.
Virtual hug.
Yeah, we were talking a little bit about your personality, like how your parents were and whatnot, or how you have a little bit of piece of them, each of them. Are you an introvert or an extrovert?
Oh God, man. I think as I got older, I just became lamer. I
Lame.
personally think, and just it's like, hey, you know what? Hey, dogs, let's go sit on the couch and watch some Ted Lasso. Like, and just like, sweet, like that's my life. But
Yeah.
I think in college, just thinking about it, I was more extroverted when it came to, don't get me wrong, I was young, young and not dumb, but I did things differently, and
Yeah.
like to go and experience things, and love to be with the boys, and um, I think I'm balanced. I was more extroverted now. I think I'm pretty more introverted now as when I got older. Um, but as a coach, I'm pretty extroverted. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
It's on and
Yeah.
off. I'm a pretty balanced. I can't say, hey, I'm just directly extrovert. Like I'm a balance of both. It just depends on the environment, I guess you can say.
Yeah, the social environment you're in. Obviously, as a coach, you got to be a leader, so you're more extroverted with the way you talk and the way you lead. But sometimes you just take a step back. I feel like I'm similar to that as well. I kind of gel from the situation or whatever I'm around. So yeah, that
Yeah,
makes
like I feel
sense.
like I'm all about like, I like my time myself. I've
Hmm.
ever since being done baseball, yeah, I coach a lot, but I've tried to pick up things I've never been able to experience do when I played baseball summer. I'm
Yeah, you
an
got a
avid
boat, man.
I'm
Going
an avid
fishing.
fisherman and I love to fish. Like I wish I could slay some crappies like Minnesota again. Like but we got some big walleyes, big pike and up in Canada. Like
Sorry, man. I'm just remembering the time me, you, Deuce, and who else was on that trip?
oh,
I'm
is it
forgetting.
Ludlow?
Ludlow. Yeah, we went
Yeah.
we went fishing down at the basin or whatever, and literally just reeling in some big bass or north. I forget exactly what it was, but that was some funny weird times, man. Just going down there, kicking your feet up, taking your socks off, and just throwing a reel in the water, and catching some
Oh,
big fish.
yeah, that was kind of like the kickstart, It was kind of like it was just like I remember I used to just drive and pull up my truck in the middle of the reservoir, and people were like, "What the hell is this guy doing?" It's such a this drill hole. I like the worst auger you could buy in the league. Probably it's just like a Subaru auger. Who is a Subaru auger? It's a gut.
you're,
Like
you're
it's just
talking
like
like you're talking like everybody has an auger in the league.
yeah. But like I guess like every on the lake, I guess they call it leagues or massive group of people or just yeah. I
Yeah.
don't know. It's like everybody has like big shacks and like America knows how to do it right. Like they know how to fish and they know like, hey, if I want to sleep out there for 2 weeks, I will be able to take a shower, be comfortable going to the washroom, and I'll be able to cook some great food while catching crappies. Like that's you're doing it right. And I kind of got into the big fishing here and bought myself a boat. I got 3 tournaments lined up this summer, get competitive again, do some competitive fishing,
Wow.
invest. Yeah, so I'm gonna be going part of the Sask Walleye Trail this winter or summer and kind of fish a little bit of the circuit with the old dogs this year and see what happens and kind of find the new hobby, something I've never been doing. Kind of not the new passion, but the kindling the passion that I've always been there. Just now it's kind of take the bull by the horns kind of thing and run with it. So yeah,
Rod,
it's a
I
pretty
do
big
I do
summer.
have to say, anything you do it in the most competitive way to try and get.
Oh,
I'm just saying. I'm just saying.
if someone's in my fishing spot, you can't tell me not. I'm gonna be casting on your boat and messing with your stuff.
I'm
Like
gonna be casting on your boat. That's
I'm gonna go
my
head.
spot. I claimed that. That's
I'm gonna go
great.
head to head, and I'm gonna bump you.
Right? Goodness. Rod, talking about your personality in general, like you as a pitcher out there. Well, first talk about you as a player pitcher and then you as a coach. But first as a pitcher, how were you out there on the mound? Were you like to yourself, like, or were you more of a hothead, or what was going on?
Well, I think more I used to be my composure used to be very like I think my facial like if you were to get to know me, yeah, I'm pretty outgoing guy. I like to have fun. But if I'm in serious mode, it looks like I'm mad all the time. It's like I got such a baby face that looks like he's pissed off all the time. It's just like I'm just groaning like this. This is me. That's on my focus face.
Yeah.
Um, I think sometimes when I'm very like into games, I think a lot of people, if you're looking from like a third person perspective, I mean, it'd be like this guy's a Looney Tune, like this guy's a nutcase. Um, like he just like I literally look like a bull in the ring, trying to make my spot in the mound and pushing dust around. I like to really make sure my rubber's what I like it. My landing spot is not a crater from the guy before. Like I'm doing my own gardening up there and just making sure everything's all good. And that was kind of my thing. Guys were like, hey, just throw the ball already. Like this new time limit that came in the LB. Like if I was playing the LB, I'd be screwed. Like I wouldn't be
Yeah,
able
you
to.
would. You were very methodical with everything you do. Actually, it's
Yeah,
very similar. I mean, I think you were even worse than I was from a time standpoint, but we had very similar personas up there, like making sure like you're cleaning off the like you were talking about the landing spot and then making sure that rubber was yours. And the way you approached it, like you had that mean mugging baby face, like you're talking about.
mean mug and baby face.
I just thought about that on the spot, but that's literally what it was.
I can grow facial hair now, man. I swear, it's
I'm
actually
so
pretty
proud of
good.
you.
Yeah, I don't even like I think I grow more hair out of my mole than I do back here, but it's whatever. It's
Goodness,
still
you're so
hair.
comfortable
Hair
in
is
your
hair.
skin. I love it, man. It's great.
Amen.
It's
You
great.
gotta love it, right? So I mean, I think it depends on circumstance. Like when I'm locked in, like am I locked in and I'm just dialed and I'm gonna mow you down? I think deep down, my internal talk when I'm talking to myself, I'm pretty like I'm cutthroat. Like I'm going to like you're not losing to you. If I lose, I'm pretty mad, and it's like you're not better than me. Like you might act with it all of your Evo shields and stuff, but you're not going to be better than me. It's like I'm going to like if you really want that protection, I'll whatever. I'll buzz one right by it.
I'm come giving you some chest or chin music there if you're really scared
Man, I
about it
wasn't
there.
afraid of it. Like there's one time I couldn't. I'll tell you a story. So I was playing in
Yeah,
the
absolutely.
college league up here in Canada, and dude, I had the like worst warm up in my ever. And there was like 2,000-3,000 people there. Just it looked like a goddamn zoo from the bullpen. Like the catchers left, right, and it's like, geez. And the batters are trying to watch me warm up. Like this guy's gonna get right in the ear hole, and people are just like, "This what is this guy doing?" And I was actually, it was one of my time in my career. I was like, I'm so in my head because like my
Yeah.
release point was off. Got up to the
Yeah.
mound, did my whole dust trick, make my little area, and I was just like, screw this. Like I'm gonna pick up this ball, and I'll never look at my catcher. It's like, yeah, get one. Let's go right now. I remember I picked up the ball and I threw it straight over the backstop, over the stands, into the parking lot. Yeah, and I did it on purpose though. I did it on purpose because I was like, you know what? I'm gonna throw it
Yeah.
as hard and far as I can, and I'm gonna get it all out now. So once I'm ready to go in the game, there's no other balls to throw. I threw it already out of the ballpark. So what am I gonna do? So
Yeah.
the umpire's like, you
Dude.
just throw it. He's like, you just throw this over the freaking thing, and I'm like, no, yeah.
No,
It's like
yeah.
there's like 2,000 people.
Just pretend it didn't even happen.
It was like 2,000 people there, and people were like, "What the hell is this guy doing?" And I literally just Yahtzee this thing in there. It was like, "Buy this ball, brand new pearl, like $10
Yeah.
sitting right there in the parking lot, part of
10
the slew
bucks, see
bed."
ya.
And I'm just like, don't even care about it, and just throw
I
it,
know.
get another ball, and after that, I pitched really well. I don't know what it is. I just absolutely, it was such a far distance. It's right over the stands, right over the ballpark, gone. Threw well the next that full inning coming for relief.
Rod, dude, that point, because I know both you and I dealt with the yips in college, and
Yeah,
you figured out a way to, like, because I already knew every single time I'd warm up, every single time during warm ups. I don't know if some of the other guys on the team, like Cott and all the guys, were like, he just threw like one or two throws in the dirt, and then like during that fall ball league, like just piping high 80s or whatever. And the fact of the matter that you figured out, like, oh, I need to do this to get my mind right and get over the failure that could happen so I can compete at my level, like, that's awesome. Did you have anybody tell you that, or did you just do that yourself?
that's just me. Like that was honestly just I just kind of said, you know what, I'm gonna make it what I want to make it, and then I'm gonna tell myself what I want to tell myself to make my what I want happen. It sounds pretty complicated and it makes more sense in my brain, but like,
Well,
you
it tells us
know,
you're a thinker.
yeah, like like it's just my thoughts get lodged in my big head, and it's like they take forever to get out, and and they just have to come through one ear hole to the other. But it's just like I feel like when you think about we went through all that in our career, and I think a lot of people do experience the yips into like a short term, long term, or just even like a freaking practice. Like everybody experiences it, but it's just like knowing your better understanding of it. And it took me a little bit while to kind of understand it and just like accept it. I think the big thing is accepting it because more people are scared of it. Once you accept that you have it, I think it's easier to deal with it. Because a lot of people they are scared to accept it that I have the yips, or I'm struggling at this. They just want a solution instead of dealing with the problem. And I feel like, big thing I've learned just over the years in coaching and playing, and yips come from overcommitment or caring too much sometimes. Sometimes doing less is more. And, going back to what shapes you as a person. And that could be just being with the guys or doing one drill that you've done for your whole life. Those are better than trying to do 10 drills that you're only getting 8 out of 10 good reps, than only doing 20 really good ones. And I feel like simplifying it and making it just that much more legitimate or more, honest, like effort to it, I think it really helps you get out of those mental grinds and mental like hurdles. because it's not a, don't get me wrong, it too. Like it's not a it's a crappy feeling, especially if you have that crazy crappy outing or that you're just like shaking your boots up there, like it's not like you're shaking your boots like, ooh, I just struck that guy with a nasty slider. It's like, ooh, I couldn't throw a strike that my life depended on it. And that's what I tell all of our guys in our facility, leave it at the door. Whatever happens, you throw a bad bullpen, leave it at the bullpen, come back later. Don't take it out of this. Once you leave this facility, you shouldn't be thinking about it at home. You know, you should be thinking about it. Don't be beating yourself up, because the more you beat yourself up, the more mental reps you're beating yourself up happens, right? It's like kind of ingrained behavior of like a second behavior that your brain just kind of recognize, oh, this is how I should be. We don't want to be like that. So leave it there
Mm,
and think about something else and have a good feeling. So I think that's really
absolutely.
starts, especially younger level, understanding that
Absolutely.
diversity.
Yeah, that mental game and getting over that adversity is like a huge part of baseball, life, you name it. I know you've dealt with it. I know I've dealt with it, whether it's injuries or control issues or whatnot. But I think that's kind of why you and I are like placed in this position in general, is to help these kids deal with these types of things that we didn't necessarily have help with, when we were younger. So I think that's why
Mhm.
we went through it in the first place. And now we're able to help these youth kids. You at RBI up there, me here at CA in Minnesota, and that's kind of why we were placed from that standpoint. And then you also help in the troubled youth with during your day job too, like all those mental hurdles, because that's a huge part of it.
Yeah, like I think that's really helped me, like being yeah, I'm a psychology grad, and I never would have thought, I've know a lot of that developmental psych stuff and sports psych. I've done a lot of training, all this different things of psychology. And I think like understanding, like working with troubled youth and working with kids that I coach, the behaviors are so similar, but they have such a different twist to them. But you just got to be able to understand the main purpose of why these behaviors happen, and why people react these different ways regarding different situations, right? Because it's pretty much all the same thing. It's just perceived or shown in different ways. And I
Mm-hmm.
mean, that's kind of the big thing, when it comes to kids. I've always tell my kids, if you throw your helmet or you're gonna do all this stuff, yeah, I get it. You care, you're upset, but it doesn't give you an excuse to throw your helmet, right? If you're upset, there's different ways of going about it. How about you go and just get back to where you want to be and then work on what you already know that you need to work on. If you can't hit a curveball or you can't throw a changeup for, a strike, or a curveball for a strike, and you're pissed off, you're going to throw your helmet or throw your glove, you're kind of reinitiating your brain to train yourself that, hey, that's kind of like reinforcing acceptable, because you're making yourself feel good temporary, right? It's that reinforcement, but in a negative way. So kids, and I see them do that in the facility. Or I don't, they know Coach Rod will be right in your face, not in your face, but
Oh
close
yeah,
by.
you'll be
Oh, I'll
letting
get
them
in
know that does
that.
not happen here.
No, and I'm like, if you're upset, go take a walk, or hey, put music in. Those are different coping strategies that, yeah, I deal with kids in my work and say, go for walks, listen to music, write journal, or just do write things. I always have a piece of paper, like write what you're thinking or what your mechanics are. Describe how you're feeling your mechanics, and let's talk about it. I can tell you, boom, 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 and then rewrite it to where you want it to be. Right. So it's
Absolutely.
just kind of that mental practice, right? Mental rehearsal, train the brain. We always call it train your brain to what you want it to be. Right.
Yeah.
So,
No,
yeah.
from a standpoint of all that stuff that you've learned over the years and that you've incorporated with the youth, with coaching and the troubled youth and whatnot, like you're the perfect guy for the job, Rod. Super happy you were able to come on today, and we could talk for hours. I know we've done it.
Oh,
We'll
yeah.
continue to do it, whether it's a phone call or on calls like this. We'll definitely have to have you back on again. I'd love to have your buddy Chris on as well. But to close, we always ask everybody what this is. What is your own definition of what a complete athlete is?
Ooh, a complete athlete. Gritty.
Gritty.
Gritty. And the reason why I think gritty, because gritty could be mental grit, it could be physical and emotional. I think gritty is a term that's like, it's a guy that'll go in the trenches, but also understands that, like, when to lay back. There's a lot of grit, like grit. I don't know if you heard that word before, but it's kind of the word I've always used. A complete athlete is a gritty one. It's a grit. Has a lot of grit, a lot of willpower, a lot of strength. So yeah,
Love it.
pretty Canadian for you there, bud.
And with that, where can listeners find you online, Rod?
You can find us at RBI Baseball Training Facility. We have Instagram, Facebook. We do have online posts all the time. You can find me at 6Radmacher. I got a lot of fishing content, baseball content, anything that you need. If you want to shoot me a question, anything about Canada, anything, shoot me a message. Happy to help out. So
literally, we're gonna have kids messaging you like, "Where are you in Canada? I need to find you on the map up here. Can you show me where you're at?"
I'm gonna make my profile a little quick response. I'm like, hey, welcome to Radmacher.
Yeah. Oh, that's
Awesome.
amazing. Thanks for coming on.
Thanks, guys.
I call him Rodman. But Brandon, appreciate your time. You brought a lot of value here today, and we look forward to having you back on. And we got to get that scheduled. We got to have our teams play. We'll make it happen. Talk to Chris. Thanks, man. Really appreciate having you on.
Awesome, guys. Cheers, and we'll talk soon.
Have a good one.